This is Bunker by AngelitoCO. And oh. I was just gonna have a look around the spawn room. I actually want to try that, so I'm just gonna move some stuff out of the way. That was probably a bad thing to do because that's in a group. There we go. Oh, I see. It's on a... Yeah, make sure you thoroughly test those. I'm sure they're fine, but... Oh, I did it again. Oh, I see. That was in a group with that. Okay, whatever. Doesn't matter that I messed your map up. I'm not saving it, obviously. Oh, I see. You've used everything standard. You just adjusted it for yourself there. And, okay, I get it. Okay. Oh, once again. Yeah, I can tell you use the templates. I can see that up there, but I also know where the kill volumes are, and they're very tight on the launch platform. So let me just spawn on a character here. Yeah.
Stay focused and roll out.
Yeah, that's good. Very good. I didn't check the length of those. What? Where am I? Ah! Oh, there must have been a door. Once again, a script that closes. Yeah, a script that closes. Power check alpha. Power check alpha. Yeah. Yeah, that's a problem. We've actually taken all the starting scripts out of Grifball. I'm not going to assume you watched my previous video on Gravemine's Court, but there is a problem with timing the starts of Grifball, because if you're waiting for players on an international connection to come into the game, they just move that out of the way. If you're waiting for players on an international connection, a lot of times the game timer will start before the game starts, and you'll be like 10-12 seconds into the start of the game before everyone spawns on the field. And the problem with that is that sometimes this door will close just as you're spawning in, and you'll get trapped back in here. Okay. This is probably scripted as well, correct? Yes, it is. Okay. What I normally suggest in this case, and it takes a bit of fiddling to get it to work right, but yeah, actually no, it wouldn't work right, because I was going to say a lot of times people would put a teleporter here and then put the receiver node on the other side of the wall, but the problem is it's so far away. That could pose a problem. Like, we had to remove all the scripts from all the Grifball courts and matchmaking because of starting issues, where people would spawn in, and then all of a sudden this door would close them, and they get pinned in this corner, and they spend the entire game pinned in this corner without well, except for there's a kill volume, getting pinned in the corner. If you can find a safer way to close that, or start it at find the script and changed it from it's like I think it's 12 seconds and 22 seconds. Make it like 25 and 35 seconds for the start, and just up the timers on the despawning blocks on the script. As I say, it's kind of an old primitive script, but it still works. It still works fine. It's just there are better ways to script things now. This will still work, but it is dangerous for spawning players in late. So you just for now, until we can replace it with a better script, I would say just up the timer on the script. I'm not sure where you have the script brain. I'm sure it's just off to the side somewhere where they are in the templates, but I'm not sure where they are in your court. So fix that. Just get that taken care of as far as the script goes. Add some more time to it. And if you invite me into a game sometime when I'm on, I'll show you how to do that. I don't want to rip your map all apart just to try to figure out where your scripts are. Okay, so enough on that. Let's have a quick look at your Your ceiling. Oh, I see. These are all. They just hang there, don't they? And they swing. That is cool. I like it. I like it a lot. It's safe. I don't see anything wrong with it. I'm not sure if you can hammer those out. So I would test that in a game. In a game, I would stick a man cannon up here that fling you up to the ceiling and see if you can hammer these out of the joints. I don't believe you can, but it's worth a try just to see if you can. Okay, so that's it for that. Your clamber ledge looks good. It's split the way it should be. You see there's a dividing gap right at the bottom of the screen there. So that's good. I'm pretty sure these will work, but always good to test them in game. I'm sure they'll work. Now vehicles. Vehicles have to be welded. That one appears to be welded because it's in the floor. Vehicles have to be welded. Sorry, did I say welded? Vehicles have to be phased physics. Okay, so they must be phased physics so that they cannot move. And the other thing is, I don't believe you have it here, and you don't. Okay, if you're putting a vehicle, see, it's good that it's in a cube. It's inside a cube. But you're also going to need one more additional thing for vehicles to be safe, and that you're going to want to spawn. Let me get into the corner here. You're going to want to spawn extras, invisible blockers, projectile. You want to get your biggest projectile blocker. Well, I couldn't spawn the biggest one, but you get it. And put that. Yeah, spawn the bigger one. This one's not large enough. You want this to go lower than your floor. Okay, so see it's on the floor, and I'm going to bring it down a bit. And you want it to be, as I say, it's going to be the full height. But you want it to be well in between the players. Yeah, you know, you can't see that, so I'm just going to move this block out of the way. Okay. This projectile blocker will block a hammer strike as well. Okay. Or wait, is it a... Hold on a second. Yeah, projectile. They used to be called the weapon blocker or something at one point. Projectile blocker. I'm pretty sure they still block the hammer, but they've changed the name of them, so I'm not 100% sure now, but I'll run a test. But you put this in between the players and the vehicles. Now, it doesn't have to be right against the wall. It's better that it isn't, but somewhere in between. Because I've seen an instance where players can smash at the tank with their hammer, and even though it's inside a blocker and it's inside a wall and it's away from everyone, parts of the vehicle, parts of the debris of the exploding vehicle, because a hammer will destroy this even through a blocker, parts of the vehicle will end up on the floor when it explodes, and those are dangerous projectiles. If you hammer one of those, you can hammer it into a person, and the traffic cone effect happens and they get killed by the flying debris. And as we state, one of the rules is the court can't kill the player. And even though that's not in the court now, it could be once you blow it up. So, as I say, test your vehicle blockers. You know what? Why don't we just do this? Once and for all, we will just check. Where's the fuel rod gun? Or sorry, fuel rod gun. Gravity hammer. There, hammer. Sorry. I always thought that was a tier 3 weapon. It is in my hands. Okay, so let's move this blocker out of the way. Come on. Get up on the wall. For some reason that does not seem to be taking any damage. me just get in the room. Nope, kill volume. It's bouncing me out, so. You know what? Let's do it with the mongoose instead. We'll move all the walls out of the way. See, because invisible blockers do not block weapon damage. So they're not an effective deterrent against blowing up a vehicle. Come on. Something's proving me wrong here. Maybe it's because they're phased. But this happened on. Hold on. There's some warthogs off to the side on the beach map, and they would blow up until we put a vehicle blocker on the side of it. For some reason these ones aren't. They are phased. Maybe it is because they're phased. Maybe something's changed since the last update, because, as I said, there was some vehicles on Sunset Beach, and one hammer swing and they would just blow up and pieces would go flying everywhere. So I don't know what the changes are, but either way, just put up a projectile blocker anyway, just to be sure that they don't take damage. As I say, maybe there is something I'm missing here, because that should have blown up with a few hammer strikes. Maybe it's, hold on a second. Maybe now when they're in normal physics, dang. Maybe when they're on normal physics or in fixed physics, they don't take damage now. I'm not sure. But as I said, there must be something that changed. It could be because they're on phased physics. Yeah, you see that? That would have blown up by now. And I have no idea why it isn't. Anyhow. Not sure. Anyhow, not a concern. The only concern is put a weapons blocker, sorry, a projectile blocker up in front of those vehicles. That's all that. I was trying to show you why, but it's completely changed from the last time I did that, so I don't know what's up with that. Anyhow, on to the rest of the court. Wall hops are good, spawns are good, objectives are good. Flare. The floor looks smooth. Just a little tiny microscopic bump, but nothing to worry about. Your floor pieces look pretty solid. You didn't group them obviously, so none of them have shifted even in the slightest. No, they're all perfect. I think that's it for this court. As they say, rethink your starts, because that door will lock players in. So I want you to imagine that when you're rebuilding it. Imagine you're spawning, and just as you spawn, that door closes. So what are you going to do? The other thing too is I noticed you had this other block. This block here, I believe, is on a script. Yeah, see, that's got a script where it moves as well. This block, the invisible blocker that is tied to the scripts from previous map, is not a wall. The blocker was meant to block the spawns. So the idea is that after that wall, when this wall closes in, at the same time, these spawns get blocked. And what that does is it prevents late joining players from spawning there, and it instead puts them onto this spawn right here, which should be an order 3 spawn. And yes, it is an order 3 spawn initial. So move that block back so that you still have the timing on it, but this, I don't know whether it moves up or down or sideways, but this one here should block the spawns when the event, the alpha triggers, or when the alpha message is sent, that should drop down and cover the spawns. Okay. But as I say, rethink either the timing, or there's other scripts out there that could work, including a script that checks for players in here. And if there's any players in here, the script won't fire until everyone's cleared. So rethink your scripts and get that repaired, and everything else I think is okay. Yeah, I can't think of anything else. Everything else is fine on this map. Just check screen performance is. I know it's going to be good. You've only used 603 pieces, and yeah, it's rock solid. Okay, thanks for watching, and get your map